Face us yourself.
Hello everyone. The build you see in the background is a shuriken based blade master that I've been working on for a little bit. I heard Trickster when he made his update video swapping over from Heartseeker to shurikens, and it clocked it on my radar that hey, this is something that I had wanted to work on previously when I saw the patch notes. I saw shuriken got a big buff. I've never played around it as a damage skill, I've always used it as a supportive skill, so I was wondering what I could do to make the build work. I think in his video, I watched like some of his follow-ups, and he's done playing the class now, and he's moved on. He ended up going low life, and he played that version, and he said it was really powerful. I think he was doing 800 corruption. I'm doing 700 right now, so I'm very comparable, and I found that I'm playing the life-based version, and I feel like that's stronger, at least for me, and I'll talk about why later. So, interesting juxtaposition. You can see both sides of the build. I'll go through exactly what I did, both for the ward-based version and the life-based version, and how I got stuck on the ward-based version at 500 corruption, and I ended up pushing the life-based version up to 700. So, both of them were able to clear Aberroth very easily. They did all the content in the game very easily. I just wanted to see, you know, which one felt better, and this is what I came up with. So, let's get on to the build.
Not happening.
Alrighty, so the build is super straightforward to play. You just cast Synchronized Strike and Shuriken, and occasionally cast Shadow Cast, or sorry, cast Shift. Whenever it's off cooldown, you use Smoke Bomb just because it's a big buff, good defensively and offensively, and our mana sustain should be pretty good this way. That's how the build plays. There is a low life version, there is a high life version. I'm playing the high life version, Trickster played the low life version. I will link his guide in the description below if you want to play the low life version. I found the high life version to be a lot better personally, but he found the low life version to be better for him. So I'm just below 700 corruption. I think I'm at 695. I'm having an easy time in monoliths now that I've swapped over and gotten all my gear in line. So I've just been pushing corruption like crazy. So let's go through all the skills. So for Shuriken, I took my Omnis off, so I need to reallocate the points, but the way Shuriken works, we're playing Chakrams. So this point over here turns Shurikens into Chakrams. It gives us 100% more damage whenever we take it, and then we get 12% more damage per Shuriken that would have been thrown. So Chakrams combined all our Shurikens into one and then throw them, and then this is for every Shuriken that would have been thrown, we get 12% more damage. So how many would have been thrown? We get 2 from Phantom Blades, 4 from Flip of a Coin, and then from, oops, that's the wrong button. From Laraka's Claws, you get an additional 2. So we get up to 8. Up to 8 Shurikens. So this is Flip of a Coin. It gives us a 50% chance, so it's either 4 or 8. So that's a 48 or 96%. More multiplier over here. We get a 28 more multiplier from Jagged Edge. We get a 90% more multiplier from Entry Point. This is basically 6% stack, 6% chance with Poison or Bleed, so that's like 15%, maxes you out. And if you look at this, we apply like pretty much like 6 on average per, so it's really easy to cap out. We cap it out basically after one cast. So that's a ton of more multipliers over here, so all we have to worry about is scaling damage and increased after this. So that's how it works. 75% crit multi from Massacre and 100% crit multi from Ricochet, because we have 100% pierce chance over here from Ethereal Blades. We still pierce no matter what with Chakram, so we don't need Ricochet. Okay, going into Synchronized Strike. If you're playing High Life, you take this no Shadow Rush, and if you are playing Low Life, you don't. We take Foreshadowing for all the more damage, Dark Allies, taking it will make our mana a lot worse, so you could take it, but it makes the build clunky. And then Crimson Storm maxes out our damage over time reduction, right? So we want 3 stacks of Crimson Shroud, and this will help us max it out. It also gives us our bleed chance, so there you go. If you don't put the 5 points over here for Shadow Rush, put them into Coordinated Cuts and then Umbral Assassination. And then you always want to put points into Art of the Blade for that buttery smooth gameplay. Okay, Umbral Blades, we are using it for chill. We are also using it for mana generation whenever we use our shift. And then we also, we use it by auto-casting it by dropping it from our shadows whenever we cast Shurikens. It gives us some Dust Shroud chance, and then it gives us a little bit of Shadow Daggers, and it homes onto the enemies. A good bit of utility over here. So those circles that you see that are moving are Umbral Blades, and if you see the daggers that they're applying, those are Shadow Daggers. Okay, that's Umbral Blades. With the extra 2 points, I'll put it like this and like this. There you go. We want as many Dust Shrouds as possible. I don't know if this works this way, but if it does, great. Shift. I love Shift. Basically, the reason I love Shift is because it gives us mana, 16 mana whenever we use it, and if we're below half health, we gain 48 mana. So even better for low life builds to get more mana back, but if you are running Shift, this is how you want to run it. We are running Kill Threshold on it, so I believe Trickster was using Lethal Mirage. I prefer Shift for the utility, but Lethal Mirage, you know, has synergy with some of our items, so it makes sense. But this also has a Kill Threshold, which is awesome. We are also using some Shadow Dagger chance here because we do have it. And because we're high life, we're using Emergency Flask in order to just chug a potion if we're low. We also get dodge rating per dexterity, which you gotta love it. If you look at our dodge rating, we're at, what's going on here? Okay, we're at 1,000. Oh yeah, that's correct. We're at 900, and when we use it, we go up a ton. We go up an absolute ton. So there you go. It also drops the shadow after shifting, so it gives us another target for using our shurikens. And then lastly, Smoke Bomb uses this off cooldown. It's super good. We use it to create shadows. We use it to get a little bit of a damage buff. We use it for increased duration. We use it to get a Silver Shroud, which lets us dodge the next attack, and it gives us Dust Shrouds. Trickster went for Cloaked Incursion to make it traversal to reduce its duration. This is very powerful. You don't need to run Shift if you run this because they will both share the same cooldown. However, if you do run this, you can't run Shift, and I like running Shift, so this is already good enough as it is. It lasts for like 5 seconds as it is, so you can make it last like up to 6 or 7. So since you can make it last that long, like by just putting points into Lingering Fumes, honestly, you can take this point out of Concealed in Carnage because you are already getting your Crimson Shroud from other sources, so there you go. Okay, those are the skills. Very easy to go through. Items. There's a lot to go through. I'm going to go through it really fast. We are taking Peak of the Mountain because it's easy to get with LP. You want health on here. Easy to get with crit. There you go. Fulgurite Shard. This is the damage dagger that we want to run. It's easy to get with LP. It gives us a base damage with Shuriken, converts it to lightning damage, gives us increased lightning damage, lightning pen, base crit chance, very powerful. If you don't want to run this and you are running Shift like me, you can run Smoke Weaver instead. Smoke Weaver turns our dodge chance into 2,000, so 66%, right? This is 900, so 42%. So Smoke Weaver could be very powerful. It gives you a little bit less crit chance. It gives you none of the lightning stuff, and it gives you reduced shift cooldown. So your shift goes from a 3.1 second cooldown to 2.7. So there you go. Really quickly, Fulgurite Shard for damage. If you need the defenses from the dodge rating, you go Smoke Weaver. Okay. Then Traitor's Tongue. This is also an option for the forehand. You can run 2 Traitor's Tongues, but you want to run it in the offhand for the critical strike chance, so it gives you 13% base. It also gives you +2 to dexterity, so it solves that as well. Dexterity skills, so plus levels, which is great. Gives you crit multi. I low rolled. Great dagger overall. Nihilus, plus to all skills, gives you all res, and it gives you increased health and mana, so very powerful, and move speed theoretically, which of course from the passives increases our damage. So Nihilus is good, Omnis is good, you can run a good Exalted, those are your options. there you go. Then we are running Larakas. This is mandatory for low life and high life. What you put on there is different, but since I'm high life, I put throwing damage and armor / crit reduction. You want to get this with as much crit multi as possible, and you're taking it for the projectile count with shurikens. From our rings, you can run penumbras if you're running high life, but you want to get throwing mana cost, and you want to get your suffixes here for health and whatever resist you need. So that's where you get these. I got lightning damage, throwing damage, resist, and dodge rating. So there you go for those. And your relic, you want dexterity, lightning damage, and then whatever suffixes you need left for your resistances / armor / health. Okay. That's all the non-low life stuff. And then from stuff that's like high life, you want Epoch's Abandon. No matter what, you need the tier 7 to lightning damage with shurikens. This is your main conversion source and your main damage source. So this is mandatory on your belt, on your body armor, and you can also get it on your helmet. So tier 7, it's huge. I'm running a Brewmaster's, but let me explain more for Epoch's Abandon. It gives you all res, it gives you move speed, it gives you throwing attack levels, and it gives you potions, it gives you dodge rating, it gives you armor. It is, I think, best in slot if you're running high life. It's really good. Then we get Brewmaster's Buckle, which gives you increased health and from the vitality and endurance threshold and endurance. So very powerful. Gives you potions, which we need to stay at high life because we don't really have leech because of Peak of the Mountain. So we love Brewmaster's Buckle. It gives you a good bit of armor as well. Yeah, and you want to slam tier 7 health or tier 7 hybrid health on there and armor of some sort. So there you go. Those are my slams on the 2 LP. Easy to farm and get easily at 1 LP and very doable at 2 LP. And then our boots, we got armor and health. That's exactly what you want on there. And then move speed. The last prefix is up to you. I had strength on there because that's what I got. I think dexterity would be a little bit better, but strength improves our armor, so why not, right? And the implicit of this one's bad. You would love to have Citadel boots, but it is what it is. Okay, that is the high life version. This is the low life version. And then I'll also drop in Seed of Echidrosil just to show this alternate. Seed of Echidrosil is a good alternate. You can get it with 1 LP. You get up to an 8% chance to take 0 on hit, so it makes you even tankier. And then you take damage to your mana first. So since you have enough mana regen, this helps out a little bit. But I am, of course, running Peak of the Mountain. Okay, low life. How does it work? You lose your life. And then when you lose your life, you get a percentage of your missing health gained as ward. So it works with Exsanguinous. It works with Last Steps of the Living. And it works with Larakas because we are getting the experimental affix on our gloves and then slamming it into our Larakas. So that's what you need to do. And then, of course, I also high rolled because I got the tier 5 armor on here. So very good pair of gloves for me. I didn't get the tier 6 health, but whatever, right? Very powerful set of gloves for me. If you want to go low life, as you can see, you do lose a couple affix slots. So because you are running that Last Steps of the Living, you don't have the Exalted Boots. So I did lose some dodge resistance. I did lose some armor. As you can see, if I run these boots in my high life version, I have 1,000 more armor basically and 400 more dodge chance. So putting those back, as you can see, my armor is down overall. So this does make me a little bit squishier. I was stuck at 500 corruption running this. I would say you're better against one-shots with this build, worse against, everything else. So I'm playing high life. Fix your resistances through your idols. That's what I had done at the time. But since I'm running Epoch's Abandon, I'm good. Okay, going into passives. Guile, in order to get to evasion, which makes you take less damage while moving, and you're moving almost all the time. And then agility, which gives you haste on hit. Haste gives you move speed and attack speed. And then move speed gives you increased damage. So that's awesome. And then steady hand for the dex and health. Twin blade because we're dual wielding. And then you want dodge and parry for the glancing blows chance and the dodge rating for more defenses. And then this makes the build work. You need sapping strikes for mana regen. We do have mana regen from other sources with this build, so you can live without it, but it is very nice for sustain. If you're not running Peak of the Mountain, then you also want to put points into critical precision in order to get that critical strike chance. Blade Master, 5 points into pursuit for the move speed, 8 points into cloak of shadows for glancing blows and dexterity, and then you want to go 8 points into once for the damage, and dodge if recently hit. So this helps you be tankier. And then if you're running high health, you run Synthesis for the health gained on Shadow Creation and increased damage. We do use Shadow Daggers, so this does help with the threshold bonus, but you know, we use it sparingly, so that doesn't really matter. Then 5 points into Veil of Night for the Dust Rod chance, because stacking Dust Rods, you know, you take less damage this way. This makes you tankier. 5 points into Flash of Steel for the increased damage and increased attack speed. It's nice, but you really want the 1 point into Suvion's Pact so you can get 5 points into Perfection. Low Life and High Life want this because Perfection gives you increased damage, but it also gives you increased armor and dodge rating. So if you look at my armor while this is all going on, we can get up to basically 3,000 armor, which is a huge tank bonus for us, right? So we can get up to 3,000 armor with our max roll of Perfection. Otherwise, we put 1 point into Exuberance so we can stack it faster. Then, 1 point into Critical Eye so we can get all in, which gives us more crit multi, and we are always critting, so there you go. And then Shadow Master for the increased damage, and then +1 to maximum shadows. There you go. And then Spellbreaker. I think Trickster explained this best. It's been bugged for a really long time. It applies to throwing, so that's why we're taking it. I put 2 points in just because I need to get some of it, but I would, because I'm the high health version, I'd rather get Suvion's Pact for the increased damage while full health. Okay, one more thing to note. If you're playing low life, you want to put 8 points into Death's Door, so you can take the 6 points from a Suvion's Pact and the 1 point from, or sorry, 8 points from Synthesis and a Suvion's Pact and move them over here. And then maybe 1 more point from Spellbreaker and move it down. And then you'll be at 8 points into Death's Door. So there you go. That's how you play both the high life and low life version. Then with Marksman, 5 points into Focus Fire just for the haste after evade and dexterity. Both are really nice for us. And then 14 points into Falconer. 5 points for the more damage with haste because we, as you saw, we have so much haste built into the tree. And then a little bit of dodge rating over here and health. And then increased dodge rating, increased mana regen, and mana gained on dodge. So a little bit more mana sustain. That's the skills, that's the itemization, and that's the passives. And I've discussed both the low life and the high life version, so you guys should all try this out. The damage is insane. I think it's done like the fastest Aberroth in a while. It's really good at clearing. And right now I'm at like 700 corruption and I'm having a good time. I would definitely recommend you to try this out. Either this or the Shadow Daggers version with Shadow Cascade and Shadow Daggers, or you can just run the Shadow Cascade melee version. There's a bunch of really fun Blade Dancer builds out there, and so I know a lot of people started playing Sentinel, but there's a lot of different ways to play this game, and this is one of them. So try it out, it's really good. Trickster says this can go far. I don't know how far this can go, but look at that healing. This is without any leech, by the way. 3 casts and back and forth. So try it out. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are having fun with the new patch. See ya.
Not happening.